The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everyone, this is the new channel where we help you see the new you. Again, this is Dr. Mike Chua, live streaming here in Martin, Tennessee, and of course in behalf of my co-host Bert De Vera in Texas. Again, this is iBusiness. All right. Good morning, Philippines. I believe it's 9:30 in the morning there in the Philippines. And good evening here in beautiful Martin, Tennessee. It's actually 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time here in the United States of America. Again, thank you very much for watching. This is iBusiness, wherein we help you improve your influence and impact in your industry by being a mentor, mentor. Letter M is meet a need, so meeting a need. So again, good morning. I see people who are watching. Good morning, hello, Ivy and Ting. I know Ivy, she's one of my students, I believe. Thank you very much for watching. And if you are watching live, please comment live because we want to know if you are watching live because we want to know and interact with you. And this is the purpose of the show, to encourage you and inspire you and actually taking action. So if you are watching live, please comment live. If you're watching on the replay, we want to know if you're watching on the replay, so we could respond back to you if you have any questions for me or for my for our guest. So again, speaking of guest and speaking of co-host, Bert was supposed to come in today and join me, but he's still getting better, and he's gonna come in next Thursday. I'm gonna officially announce that. He said he is gonna come back Thursday, so next Thursday, please come in and come in and tune in on Thursday so we could help him welcome back in our show. Let me go back to my calendar here. There you go. I'm gonna get my calendar here. There you go. I like this. Okay, our quote for today. It's actually Wednesday there in the Philippines, right? Today is Tuesday here, but here it's very, very good. Force yourself to be uncomfortable with mediocrity. Force yourself to become uncomfortable with mediocrity. What does it mean? What does it mean, right? Force yourself to become uncomfortable for those things that are not excellent. Imagine going to actually a doctor, and then that doctor is like, oh, I think I passed my exam, my board exam, with, like 75 points, having a passing grade of letter C. And you've got your doctor trying to operate on your head or operate on your heart or operate on whatever. And of course, that's mediocre, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, they may have passed that board exam. Yes, they may have, passed, minimum grade. There's nothing wrong with failing, but having a consistent mediocre attitude, having a consistent mediocre performance, guess what? You don't want that. If you want to be the thought leader, if you want to be the authority in your certain field, if you want to improve your influence and impact in your industry, that's why we call it I business. If you want to improve your influence and impact in your specific industry, you have to level up, ladies and gentlemen. You have to raise up the bar. If your coworkers are here, go up a little bit, go up one step, and you will be promoted, ladies and gentlemen. You will be promoted. So you have to learn how to level up. And it's so easy nowadays. It's so easy because everybody's doing a mediocre job. Even in you go check out your other co-workers, you will see that they are doing the minimum job, the minimum performance that you can see. And if they are doing that, you will excel in your field, because if you step up a little bit, guess what? Bam, you're gonna be better than them. I'm not saying you're above them or whatever, but I'm saying is that it's so easy to level up nowadays because other people are doing a mediocre job, just like me right now. I have a student right now. They're from a university, and they're actually looking at how I treat and how I provide those services to my clients, and they're like, Michael, why are this patient likes you? Why are they loving you? And I said, well, because the previous therapists that saw them are doing not even the minimum, they're doing the less than minimum thing. And they're being paid top dollars, 80, 90, $100 per visit. And then they're performing in the minimum wage job. And I don't want you to be like that. If you really want to if you want to command a CEO salary, if you want to command a boss's salary, if you want to command a managerial salary, you gotta get out of that mediocre level. You gotta level up. So speaking of level up, I see my good friend Ray Berardinelli. Ray, you're gonna be next here, man. You need to be here, man. Ray is actually a creator of an EMR system, wherein they call it EMR sucks. Electronic medical record. He's actually the owner of that company there. Thank you very much for watching, Ray. Appreciate you. Well, speaking of leveling up, we are going to call on our special guest. Let me go back. Where did that go? That introduction thing. Where did that go? Where is that? There you go. I see it. Okay, I have to read this, ladies and gentlemen. This is pretty long. You're going to be impressed with this lady that we have today. Excuse me. So while I'm looking for this, please type in live if you're watching live, and if you're watching on a replay, please type in replay. And if you really want to level up, type in level up, because you guys needs to level up before I keep on going. Speaking of leveling up, it's not just in your job. It's not just in your job, ladies and gentlemen. It's also if you are a dad. Speaking of being a dad, I'm going to tell you a quick story about that. You need to level up in your family life. You need to level up if you're a dad or a mom, you need to level up, take care of your kids. If you're a son or a daughter and you still have a parent, I don't have my mom and dad anymore. You need to level up in taking care of them. If you are actually an employee, you need to level up. That's our goal now is to not please the customer, right? Customer service is there. You will see that customer service department, customer service. Everybody's doing customer service now. The goal now is not just to please the customer. The goal now is to wow and amaze the customer. That's the goal. If you know how to wow, if you know how to amaze that customer, guess what? You're gonna be like the next boss in line in that company you're working for. So let me go back to that introduction here. So speaking of leveling up, I see here Candice can't watch the whole live video. I'm doing a side job to get enough hours to keep my benefits at work. I'm interested with Kara Welke. Yes, ma'am. This is going to be on the replay. I want to talk to her because I think she could help my dream come to life. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Just reach out to Kara, whether it's private message or whatever. But just talk to her. But speaking of that, I'm going to introduce her formally. Okay, let me just swallow my spit a little bit. Okay, all right. The Kara Welke has worked with pediatrics through geriatrics. Pediatrics means the kids, right? And through geriatrics, older people in various settings. She taught was the AFWC in an OTA program for 7.5 years. I don't know what AFWC means. We will probably ask her. All I know is WWE, World Wrestling Federation, or WWF. She is passionate about teaching students and professionals to be the best occupational therapy professional as possible. Kara has 3 different businesses, all occupational therapy related. Okay, we're going to talk about that. She is certified in Skills to Care program. Oh gosh, Parkinson's Wellness Recovery program. It's a delay the disease Parkinson's fitness program. Certified instructor and a certified lymphedema therapist. And due to the lack of resources for helping occupational therapy professionals start their own business, Kara has created, gosh, this is perfect here, the Next Level Occupational Therapy Group. And this group has grown into a mission to help as many occupational therapists to start their own business or to level up in their current business. Our premier program is the Therapy Business Builder program, where she currently assists therapists from across the U.S. to start their own business. Oh gosh, that's pretty long. I'm going to swallow a little bit of my spit. But without further ado, let's put in Miss Kara Welke. Woo! There you go.
Hello.
Sorry, Dr. Kara Welke. I'm sorry, Kara. Thank you very much, Kara. I know you're a very busy person, but thank you very much for coming over, Dr. Welke. I appreciate you. But please tell us where you're from, what do you do, and just tell us how to level up, sister.
I sure will. Well, thank you so much, Mike, for allowing me to be here on this show. This is exciting. And Candace, yes, reach out to me. You can contact me through Facebook, or I can leave my email or whatever you need. So, but first of all, Mike, I love your pre-talk that you were talking about being mediocre and how people need to level up. And I know I need to introduce myself, but that talk is crazy that you talked about that today, because literally yesterday when I was at a client's house, the lady told me that I was a godsend. And I told her, no, I mean, thank you, but realistically, I'm just doing my job. I'm making sure that I'm providing the services and getting you the resources that you need. And I talked about, that's one of the reasons why I decided to start my own business, because this day and age, there's quite a few people that just go to work, do the basics, and leave, right? And in our field, we really have to go above and beyond. We can't just go see the client and leave. There's so many people that we need to contact and to make sure that our clients have the services that they need. Because we have to partner with other people to bring those resources in. So yes, you need to be not just mediocre, you need to be above and beyond, and that will help you get to the next level, which is our whole platform is called Next Level Occupational Therapy. So a little bit about me. I am from North Dakota. It says it on the bottom of the screen. I have been an occupational therapist for 20 years. I
20
grew up.
years? Oh gosh.
I know, that dates me, doesn't it?
I wasn't even born then.
Thanks, Mike. I grew up in South Dakota on a farm. I know I see my mom is listening. Hi, Mom. I always say that growing up on the farm helped me to develop my work ethic that I do have, and have a tendency to always go above and beyond if I can. So, but I've been an occupational therapist in a variety of different settings. And over the last 7.5 years, I actually was teaching in an OTA program, Occupational Therapy Assistant program. And you wanted to know what, it's an academic fieldwork coordinator. So I was in charge of helping students find their fieldwork placements, or, scheduling them for their fieldwork placements. So that's what the AFWC means. And when I started teaching, I continued working in a skilled nursing facility, transitional care unit, PRN, because I knew that if I'm going to be teaching, I have to be current in everything and what's going on. So I continued working PRN. But as you know, when you work PRN, you have to work weekends and holidays. Um, and so many people, family wise, were like, why don't you quit working? You don't need to have two jobs. Well, again, to me, I have to be doing the thing if I'm teaching the thing, because I want to make sure that I'm keeping up with my skills and practice in order to teach students. And to be all honest, I think that my skills as an occupational therapist really leveled up once I started teaching. I realized when I was teaching that I wasn't as occupation based, as client centered as I thought I was. And getting back into the grind and the education world really helped me to see what we could all do. And then it was a few years ago where I decided that I didn't want to work weekends and holidays anymore. And well, and it kind of fell into my lap. I kind of had a little push. But that's when I started my own business. And I currently see older adults in their home, and we provide physical and occupational therapy to clients in their home. And our goal is to help clients live as independent as possible and to age with as much purpose as possible. So they can live and play, they can live at home. They don't need to go into a skilled nursing facility or assisted living facility.
Perfect. Perfect. I don't know if you are still watching live, ladies and gentlemen. If you are still watching live, please comment live. If you're watching on the replay, please comment replay. Well, anyway, I just would like to give a special shout out for those people who are watching. Jules Racho. I know him. He's actually a friend of mine back home in the Philippines. He's a physical therapist here in the States. And Julie Caring?
Yep, that's my mom.
Your mom. Hey, Mom, what's going
Mom.
on? Please share, like, and subscribe our show. If you can share it in your page, that would be awesome. And then May Pormento. Good morning, everyone. May. And then Jen Rosario said, hi, Doc Mike and I business viewers watching from Pampanga, Philippines. Pampanga, I miss Pampanga's best. If you guys are watching Pampanga from Pampanga, type in Pampanga because I miss the Pampanga's best. I miss the tocino, the longanisa, and everything. It's all the food from the Philippines, Kara. Well, anyway, Kara was mentioning about doing the things in order for you to be able to teach the things. You have to walk the talk, ladies and gentlemen. You have to walk the talk. Is that how you say it in English? Walk the talk or talk the walk or whatever. You have to talk. We have to walk the talk. If you're teaching how to lose weight, and if you cannot lose weight, how would they pay? How would your clients believe you, right? And same thing with me. That's the reason why I don't teach people losing weight. I can't lose weight. So that's the reason why I chose geriatrics, because at least I can tell the geriatric population, hey, this is how you exercise. I cannot teach those people in the gym that are actually, fitter than me. You know what I mean? So you have to walk the talk. And that's what Kara is doing, ladies and gentlemen. She has followed what you call the mentor method again. We talk about this all the time. MENTOR. Letter M is meeting a need. So what's her need? What's her niche? Her niche is actually occupational therapy. She's actually teaching students of occupational therapy. And what's the next letter on the mentor method? If you can hear it, if you can watch it, what's the next letter on the mentor? Letter M is meet a need. Letter E is educate. That's what Kara's doing right now. She is actually educating the other occupational therapists how to be the best that they can be, how to be a better therapist, how to be a better OT or whatever. And that's what she's doing. And actually, the next letter N is networking. That's the reason why I know her. We have networked with other people. And what's the next letter? Letter T is team. I'm sure she has a team of people who's actually seeing other patients for her. A team of people that's actually helping her promote her business in the computer, in the internet, right? And letter O. What's letter O? If you still remember, one-on-one coaching. She provides one-on-one coaching for those people who actually wants therapy, who wants to learn about how to start their own business and stuff like that. And last but not least, is letter R. Is repeat. Letter R is repeat or recurring revenue. I'm sure she has some repeat or recurring revenue. When she sees patients, guess what? She comes back. and do that repeat and recurring revenue. So just follow the mentor method, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just be a mentor to somebody else. Let's go bring back Miss Kara or Dr. Welke. Dr. Welke, you mentioned you're from South Dakota and then you moved to North Dakota. What's the difference there? Just North and South, you know?
Yep, north and south, it's a little colder up here. Let me tell you, we
Yeah.
didn't think it would be much difference, but it is. It's a colder for sure. So, and hey, I love the fact that you talk about network and team in your mentor, um, when you talk about your mentor program and so forth, because that's huge. Because one thing, when I started my business a few years ago, it was a struggle because we didn't have any resources out there to help us start our businesses then, or at least none I could find. And, I reached out, Facebook, tried to, our association and so forth, and it was a struggle. Um, and that's one reason why we started our therapy business builder program, because we saw that so many other therapists and all types of therapists, not just OTs, but PT, speech therapists, wanted to start their own business, but they didn't know where to go. And learning through our mistakes and building a network and a team, we're able to actually help therapists now start and build and grow their own business. So we have 38 therapists currently right now that have started their own businesses and are growing them across the United States. And it's because of the network and team that we have. So Steve, who you know Steve very well,
Yep.
is a huge part. Steve is the CEO of Hello Note, and he has his own mobile practice. And Anthony Meritato, Medicare guru. He does a lot of our training. Andy Nielsen with the marketing, the website, and so forth. So we have a whole team that provides mentorship. We do have one-on-one mentorship like you talked about, but we also use like a group approach as well. So networking and finding a team is essential for all of you guys that want to build your business, because they can surround you and provide you the support you need to help it grow.
That's amazing. Thank you for reiterating. Reiterating. Can you guys spell reiterating there? So let me just say repeating. Thank you for repeating that, Kara. So speaking, she. I don't know if you were listening, ladies and gentlemen. She was talking about the importance of networking and finding a team. We're not talking about the networking wherein it's multi-level, or networking when you're selling, this product. What we're talking about is looking for the right people that will help you and push you to your next level. Okay, like what I always preach this, ladies and gentlemen. You are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. Uh, you hang out in a barber shop. One way or another, you're gonna have a haircut like me. You know, if you hang out with people who actually gossips all the time, I'm gonna say this in a nice way. If you hang out with people who like gossips all the time, guess what? You're gonna end up gossiping too. I'm going to just tell you this one little secret. I'm going to tell you this one time. You're going to end up being a gossiper too. If you hang out with people who are actually so negative, even though you are the most positive person in that room, guess what? You're going to be pulled down there. So you have to choose your friends very, very wisely. ACG, iBusiness Group. You have to choose your friends wisely. Like what my mother always say, the birds with the same feather flock together. So who are you hang out with? Even in your own company. If you are working for a company or trying to look for a job, choose that company well. Look at their mission, vision. Look at their leadership. Look at their leadership. Look at the people underneath him. I mean, are they following? Do they have integrity? Are they honest? Are they properly actually? Are they doing an excellent job? So thank you for pointing out, Kara. Kara, I got one more question. You mentioned about the team, right? Having a team of people that are actually mentoring your other students. So How did you find them? That's my question. How did you find them? Did you just randomly selected them, or did you intentionally choose them?
That's a great question. So when I was starting my business, I was looking for just the right EMR system to use, so a medical record system to use. And so before I knew much, right, I was trying to do everything as frugal as possible. So I was looking for one that I could afford, but yet I wanted it to be, good and functional and occupation based and so forth. And I came upon Hello Note and met Steve at that time. And he was willing to work with me, being just me, starting my own business. And it wasn't just an EMR that I got, it was a mentor. And he helped me along the way of building my business. So, I mean, it was kind of a bonus deal. I just didn't get my EMR. I got a mentor to help me grow my business. And it was last year, well, coming up in a year in October, when a lot of therapists were losing their jobs because of the Medicare changes in nursing facilities. And we kept seeing post after post of therapists, saying they lost their jobs, they got fired, things like that. And I texted Steve and I'm like, Steve, we need to do something. We can help these people. They can start their own business. They need to realize that it's a possibility. And we had kind of talked about this before, but we never put it into action yet. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. So that's how Steve came into be. And then Andy, who does our marketing, creating the logo, or he creates the client's websites, logo, business cards, things like that. He's an occupational therapist as well. And he has a business degree. And then he went back to OT school. And I had just met him through our Next Level Facebook group and our Visionary membership group. And he was actually still a student at the time. And I texted him too. I'm like, hey, I have an idea. Do you want to chat? And we talked about it and he was totally in. So the three of us just decided we're going to go for it and threw it out there and kind of had a little soft launch to it. And then the next go around, Anthony has been a mentor to me with a Medicare course. I've taken his Medicare course. He actually took a phone call from me, I think last summer or the summer before when I was at a baseball game and provided guidance and so forth. So I asked him if he would be a part of our team. So our members could have, training with him, and his knowledge on insurance and so forth is vast. So that's how he came into play. And then we have people like Mike, you have shared your course with our members of our Therapy Business Builder program. Will Boyd and Alex Ingar come in and do trainings. And I met them through Greg Todd, because with Greg Todd, he has Smart Success Healthcare. And I went to that last year, and that's when I met and learned so many different people there. But Will and Alex taught me so much over the last year that I knew that they needed to be in and help train the people in our team. So yeah. So I guess long story short, just kind of relationships have developed over time, and I knew they would be good to help each other or help everyone else in our programs.
Perfect. Thank you for pointing that out, Kara. I don't know if you were listening, ladies and gentlemen. I was writing it down, and you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional who you actually choose in your network, ladies and gentlemen. If you are just a wandering generality, you're just, okay, I'm just going to hang out with this group of people. I'm just going to hang out with them, and listen and observe. It's not going to happen. What she did is she intentionally reached out to those people. She intentionally talked. She mentioned about calling and texting and having a relationship with those people who can actually mentor all her other students too. So you really have to be intentional, ladies and gentlemen. So speaking of being intentional, we're going to be intentionally going on a break. We'll be back after this few commercial break. Again, thank you very much, and I'll be back. right, we are back from an iBusiness wherein we help you improve your influence and impact by being a mentor, mentor. But very, very, very quickly, I would like to promote and say hi, hello to all this shows. There you go. All right, there you go. I see it now. The Big Picture. If you haven't seen this show, you got to check it out. That's Mondays to Fridays every day with our awesome director, Lloyd Luna, Mondays to Fridays at 7 p.m. And of course, HR Hotline, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 p.m. And of course, don't forget the fourth project that is live streaming in Dubai, Wednesdays and Saturdays at 7 p.m. That is, I believe, in Dubai time. And Usapang Beauty, let's talk about beauty every Thursdays and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. U-Turn with Carmine Ortega, Mondays, Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. And The Home Buyer by Dante Salamat, Mondays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. Gosh, we got lots of shows now. The Puppet Stories with Juan Lu, Tuesdays and Fridays at 5 p.m. The TNC Marketplace. Gosh, ladies and gentlemen, you have to support our local business owners. The TNC Marketplace. You got to check that out. Speaking of that, they have pretty nice products there in the marketplace. They will say mine and me and mine and me, and then to get that product there. And we've got a new show too called the YOLO. Both attorneys, they're really good looking there. And The Talk every Mondays at 12 p.m. after shift at Wednesdays and Fridays. And Money and More, Wednesdays and Fridays at 11 a.m. The TNC Town Hall every Saturdays at 7 p.m. And then the last but not the least, One Day every Saturdays at 7 p.m. again. The second and the third. Okay, I see it now. The first and fourth Saturdays is the TNC Town Hall. And then every second and the third is the one day thing. All right, again. We are back from from iBusiness every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. in Central Standard Time here in the States, and of course Wednesdays and Fridays there in the Philippines, 9:30 in the morning. Again, if you are watching live, if you're still watching live, please comment live. We want to know if you're watching live, and of course, when you're watching on the replay, please comment replay. Again, we are back with our awesome. Awesome guest, Dr. Kara Welke. Dr. Welke, I can see you are muted there. There you go. There
I'm
you go.
unmuted.
You are back. So, all right. So, I know this is a crazy question that we asked, but the next question, I know we talk about the mentoring thing and everything, but the next question here is, have you encountered, what is your biggest failure in life, and how did you turn it around, and how did you get out of it? So,
Wow, that's a tough one.
I know, right?
Well, let's talk about business wise. So, first of all, I've been wanting to start a business for years, but I never took the risk because I didn't know what to do, how to start it, and I just kept putting it off. But I mean, for years, I've literally told my husband I should start my own business because we could see older adults in their home. It could be reimbursed through Medicare Part B, and there's no one else doing it. But I never did it. And it just so happened, and I know those that are watching that know me, have heard this story before, but it's just kind of neat how it ended up happening is that a student came in and was requesting a fieldwork site at a local place. And I'm like, well, they don't have OT there. And they're like, yeah, they do. And I'm like, I don't think they do, but I'll call. And anyway, so I called, and they did not have occupational therapy yet, but they were in the process of getting contracted with Home Health Part A. And so I ended up talking to them and talking about how I want to start my own business, da, 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 da. They asked me to come in and to talk to them, and they encouraged me to start my own business, and then I could contract with them. So I started my own business, not having a clue what I was doing, and just kind of went blindly and made several mistakes along the way. I would ask for, you know, on Facebook, search in and ask questions and so forth, and you'd get so many people that would say, "I can coach you, contact me." And there wasn't very many people that offered, ideas or suggestions or programs out there. So I kind of struggled through it, and I met Alicia and Deborah and some people that were willing to mentor me and help me along the way. Um, so yeah, that's probably my biggest failure business wise, is not starting soon enough. And then when I did start, I was kind of frugal and cheap and didn't really invest in myself and my business. Because once I made an investment, like when I signed up for Greg Pod's mastermind program, that's when things really started going for all of my businesses. Well, and then I went from one business to three businesses, right? So I'd say take that risk, take action. Don't wait years and years and years like I did because of fear. Actually be willing to invest in yourself. And I'm not saying go into debt to start your business, but try to invest in yourself so you can get to where you need to be, and find a course, find a program that will help you. In fact, that's why we started Therapy Business Builder, because we wanted to help people reduce their stress and help them get to where they need to be. Sorry, my son just decided to come home and talk. So anyways, invest in yourself, and take that risk sooner than later, would be probably my biggest ways to overcome that. Because in the last couple of years, after I invested in myself, I was really able to get where I needed to be.
Perfect. I love that. But before we keep on, before I go back to and reiterate what Kara said, I would like to give a shout out to Teresa Goodwin. Thank you very much for watching. And then VJ Patel, thank you very much for watching, brother. Let me go back to what Kara mentioned. There are three things: risk, ladies and gentlemen, RISK, risk. SKRISK. You have to take risk, ladies and gentlemen. But there are two types of risk, the good and the bad risk. You have to have a good calculated risk. Okay, good calculated risk. So make sure when you're taking a risk, make sure it's good calculated risk. Because a lot of people, we are so stuck in the analyzing and analyzing and analyzing. And it's called the analysis paralysis. And we kept on analyzing and analyzing, and we're not taking action. And that's what the second thing that she mentioned. Take action. You got to take action, ladies and gentlemen. Just like when you want to move your muscle, if you want to get better in your muscle strength, it's not going to do you good if you're just looking at it. Oh, I think this is going to get stronger. I'm going to talk to this muscle. Yeah, you're going to be strong. You're going to be strong. Yes, there's power over your mind. But if you don't personally take action and move that muscle, the muscle to start a business, the muscle to be better, the muscle to get out of that mediocre life, guess what? It's not going to do you good. You got to learn how to take action, guys. Take action. Move it. Imperfect action beats perfect in action. And the next thing, last but not the least, what she mentioned is learning how to invest in yourself. Learning how to invest in yourself. You have already invested in your school. You've invested in your parents has invested in your high school. Your parents have invested in your college, or you yourself went to school. Why not invest in yourself when you're starting your own business? Just like if you just in any kind of situation, if you want to get an apple tree, yeah, you plant an apple seed, right? You plant an apple seed, it becomes an apple tree, and you get some apple fruit. Same thing with the orange. You want an orange, you plant an orange seed, becomes an orange tree. Is orange a tree? Or tree, and then you get some orange fruit. Same thing when you're starting a business. You have to invest in yourself. If you want to be better, If you want to improve in your life, if you want to improve as a father, you got to invest in yourself. You got to invest in your time with your family. If you want to make money, you got to invest in the business too. Have you ever seen a business that started with nowhere? No, they invested in business too. They invested in themselves. Because if you got a bigger skin in the game, you have to have skin in the game. Just like for example, you're playing something, you're playing basketball or whatever. You fail, and then you got a skin, you got skinned, you got a wound there. Guess what happens to those basketball players? They're like, I'm gonna be like Michael Jordan, right? And same thing when you're starting a business, you gotta have skin in the game, invest something in yourself. VJ Patel knows that the bigger the investment, the bigger the return, right? The bigger the investment, the bigger the return. And same thing with stock market. Yes, you can find a low startup cost, and then you get a big return. But still, you have to have an investment in yourself. All right. Thank you very much, Kara, for answering that question, for turning that around. So let's go back to Kara. There she is, Dr. Welke. Dr. Kara. So what's next for the next level occupational therapy group?
Oh, goodness. Well, before we move on, one other thing I thought of. So for students out there, so I went back and got my doctorate degree a few years ago. And when you're in school, that's a perfect time to even start working on your business. And that's another thing I kind of kick myself about sometimes, because we had to do a big capstone project. And I was gonna do like creating my business as my capstone project. And I was like, no, and I did something else. And I love what I did, but I was like, ooh, if I would have done starting my business as my capstone project, I would have been that farther ahead in the game. So I think students need to think about, they can start a business versus thinking about, where am I going to apply for a job?
Oh, God.
So don't just think that you have to apply for a job. As students, start thinking right now, what kind of business can I start? And that's why I think, Mike, you have so many great resources for people to start side gigs or other jobs that they could even start when they are students. We just are kind of trained to think that we have to go work for someone else, and that's not the case. So I wanted to mention that before we moved on. Any thoughts on that, Mike?
I want to harp on that too, Kara. We are so trained, ladies and gentlemen. I got this free shirt, by the way, from Fish Show Meme Guy, World's Best Physical Therapist. Thank you very much, Andrew Tran. Andrew, if you're watching, please, thank you very much. He sent this shirt to me. Actually, he said that's his personal shirt, and he just gave it to me. So I'm basically the second World's Best Physical Therapist. Well, anyway, what was that? What were we talking about? Talk about starting a business.
Students, yeah.
Yeah. I got students right now. They come to me, we do the mentoring thing and everything. That's the first thing I hear. They would always tell me, "Oh, is this a good company to work for, Michael?" I'm like, I'm teaching you how to start your own business here. I'm teaching you how to write a book. I'm teaching you how to find your niche. I'm teaching you how to build Medicare. I'm teaching you how to do this, do that. And they come back to me, do you think this is a good outpatient clinic, Michael? No. It's okay, if you're starting, no, but it's here because we are so trained to be technicians. We are trained, whether you're a physical therapist right now or occupational therapist, or whether you're a physician, nurse, or even in the Philippines. We are all trained in the Philippines, to finish college, finish school. This is what they say all the time. You got to finish school, my son, because if you finish school, you got to go work in a good company and retire in that good company. Guess what? That company that you're working for can even fire you anytime. And unfortunately, my parents were both entrepreneurs. My mother, she worked when she was younger as a secretary, but she started her own company. She had a staffing agency. My dad, he never worked until he came here in the States and started working in a nursing home because he wanted to get the Medicare benefits, right? But when he was in the Philippines, he had, rental properties. He had, a small trucking business, and he was, kind of Chinese. And to tell the truth, I'm proud of it. I work as a physical therapist and also as a pharmaceutical rep in the Philippines. I work as a pharmaceutical rep for almost 10 years. And my dad, he would always look down at me. He already passed away. God bless you, Dad. Rest in peace. I love you. But the only time he got proud of me because I became an author here in the States and I started my own business. But when I was working as a pharmaceutical rep in the Philippines, he would always tell me, "You're still an employee." I was actually bragging. I was bragging with my dad. Dad, I have a car. Oh, I have a car too. I have lots of car. I have even trucks because he had that small trucking company. And I would say, tell him, "Hey, Dad, the company I was working for, United Laboratories, that time. That's where I met Lloyd. Actually, he would always tell me. I would tell him, "Hey, Dad, the company's sending me to Dubai. They're sending me to Australia. They're sending me to Hong Kong. They're sending me to different countries almost every year, actually." And he would always come back to me. "You're still an employee. You still answer to a boss there." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I was earning good money, but I never realized the freedom until I started my own business. And I was like, "Gosh, this is what he was talking about." And when I was working as a pharmaceutical rep, we had a small business too, like a small computer shop wherein we rented it, because in the Philippines, Kara, not everybody has a computer. So we have a small computer shop. I think we had like, I don't know, 20 units of computers, and we were renting it out per hour. And then I had like an LCD business wherein we rented those projector types. And we also had the food distribution business, wherein we distributed different foods. Like we would buy it wholesale and distribute it to different groceries or markets in the Philippines. That's when my dad was really proud of me. Like, "That's what I'm talking about, son." So no, like, "That's what he talked about, son." So So, and I never realized, I said, "Oh," and then I came here in the States. I became an employee again. I had to because I was on a work visa, and I'm very thankful for the company who sponsored me and everything. But I never came back to my senses again when I got fired and I started doing business again in myself. I'm like, "Gosh, this is the freedom here. Not because you can do whatever you want, not because you don't have a boss, but there's freedom in it." So speaking of freedom, Kara, speaking of freedom, we're gonna go on a quick break. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Sounds good.
All right. We're gonna go. All right, welcome back in iBusiness, where we help you improve your influence and impact in your specific industry by following again the mentor method. MENTOR. Letter M is meet and need. Letter E is educate. Letter N is network. Letter T is team. Letter O is one-on-one. And actually, last but not least, letter R is repeat or recurring revenue. before I keep on going, we just want to give a special shout out to the world premiere of Usapang Beauty with Joby Linsangan Moreno. Usapang Beauty means talking about beauty stuff, I guess. And Money and More with Mr. Armand Benko. And of course, the newer one, the YOLO. Gosh, that's a really nice title. I was telling Lloyd. YOLO, you only live once. YOLO with attorney Carlo and attorney Sheila of the new show YOLO. You see those dates there. Please subscribe and like and share and whatever you need to do, because the more likes, the better. The more share, the better. And then, of course, live stream is the new broadcast. If you are a professional speaker there in the Philippines, please join our group called Philippine Association of Live Stream Professionals, wherein they teach you how to be a live streamer in the Philippines. Or, we can also do it here in the States if you want to be associated with awesome people, because you need to be, if you want to be a good live streamer, you got to connect with them. All right. Before I keep on going, I just would like to give a special shout out and read what Candace mentioned here. Mr. or Mrs. and Miss Welke, I sent you an email last night. Yep, there you go. Hoping I'll be able to talk with you on Friday. Think you could help me with bring my ultimate goals to light. Thank you. And I love your picture there, Candace. That's a beautiful dog there. There you go. Yep. Just reach out to Kara. She's awesome. She's going to help you out, guide you to your ultimate goals. All right, let's go bring back Kara. I know she's very busy. Kara, what is it? Are you also in Central Time, Mountain Time?
Yep, Central Time too.
Central Time? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, well, again, thank you very much, Kara, for coming over. I really appreciate you. I know she's very, very busy, ladies and gentlemen. So it is my extreme pleasure for her to come over here in our show. But I'm going to ask you one last question, Kara.
Okay.
And then after that, I'm going to let you go, right?
Sounds good.
Any last parting wisdom for our audience? And then after that, one last question after that. So
okay. Well, this kind of stems off of our last talk with, being a student. You can start a business as a student. You can think about starting a business after you graduate. But another big one that I hear a lot, and I think you do too, Mike, is that oh, I need to go back to school. I need to go get my doctorate degree, or I need to go get a business degree in order to start a business. And this day and age, there are beginning to get so many more resources out there that help us to actually get where we need to be without going back to school. And I don't know, Mike, I think it was at Smart Success Physical Therapy Live during one of the presentations that someone talked that they got more out of Greg's program than they did during their whole MBA. Do you remember that?
Yep.
I think it was at SSPT Live. So you don't have to go back to school to start a business.
Perfect. I just would like to harp on that. A lot of us here, whether you're a therapist or a physician or whatever kind of, whatever I was even talking to my friend who had all these business degrees, and I wanted him to start his coaching business because he's so good. You know what he told me? Mike, I'll still need to get this certification. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I teach a certification course called Alzheimer's Disease and Dementia Care Seminar. It's actually a certification course to be a certified dementia practitioner. Yes, I teach that class. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. If you are just going to take that class and you're not going to take action on it, don't even take any class anymore. Here's the thing, those extra certification, going back to school, going back to getting those extra letters behind my name. Don't get me wrong. I got all these extra letters behind my name, PTD, PT, SCC, PCD, whatever, ABCD, EFG. Even Kara, look at Kara. But it's not going to do you good if you don't take action, ladies and gentlemen. Just like
that's awesome. Yeah, that brings up a whole another ball game. Is I hear it all the time. I need to get more certifications before I can start my business. And
Mm,
no, you don't need to have any special certification to start your business. I've been a certified lymphedema therapist for many years, so
mm,
that I already had. And I was very interested, or I have a lot of clients with Parkinson's. So that's why I went and got my Parkinson's wellness recovery certification. But I didn't need those to start a business. And then most recently, I became a skills to care provider. Again, I don't need that to start a business. And I wouldn't recommend people go and get all these certifications first because they're just not needed. You're enough. You just have to be willing to take that action and go back to what Mike talks about with you have to find your niche. You can't do it all. I know when I started, I was thinking, oh, I'll do pediatrics, do geriatrics, and so forth. No, you have to narrow it down. You have to find that niche that you're going to be able to be successful in.
perfect. Thank you for telling that, Kara. You need to find your niche, and you are enough, ladies and gentlemen. I was even talking to somebody else. He was like, telling me, Michael, I need to go back to actually nursing school. I'm like, what? You already got your doctorate degree. You already got your doctorate degree. Go back to nurse. There's nothing wrong being a nurse. If your passion is going to nursing school, go ahead. But just because you can't find a job as an OT or a PT or a PTA or a CODA, don't go back to school because of that. Just like a toolbox, I don't have my toolbox here, but inside my toolbox, different tools there. You got a plier, you got screwdriver, you got the socket wrench, open wrench, or whatever. Those certification behind our name are tools for us to be able to use our job. But the ultimate goal here is learning how to start your own business and using those different tools in order for you to achieve how to level up. So speaking of level up, I know Kara's tired, and ladies and gentlemen, she's there. her son is probably calling her now. Kara, where can we reach you? Where can we find you? Any website that we can promote for you and share here in our group?
That would be great. So we have a Facebook group, Next Level Occupational Therapy, and that's our free Facebook group where people, we just try to help people level up in their career or life wherever they're at. So please reach out on Facebook or go find our group, Next Level Occupational Therapy Facebook group. And then if you want even more, we have a visionary membership group. And this group is where we have a variety of trainings monthly. In fact, tonight we had one on universal design, but we have a variety of trainings and meetings where, again, going back to what Mike says with his mentor, where you can form a network and where you can have a team, a community of people to support you. So that's a couple things we have. If you want to start your own business, there's lots of resources out there. Ours is just one of the many, but our program is called Therapy Business Builder, and we have a whole team of people to help you start and build your business from scratch. So that's one of our biggest programs. We also have a home safety and modification business, and this was started again. All of our programs have basically started from a need out there, and in January, AOTA, our national organization, put out a position paper talking about how people doing home safety and modifications, how sometimes when we're doing that, it's billable to Medicare Part B versus a lot of people do private pay. So we created a course to help people do a hybrid approach where they can learn how to start their own home safety and modification business and do private pay and Medicare and other resources as well. And yeah, we have lots of webinars, different things. Our website is nextlevelot.com, and you can find all of those products, services on there. We do have a very special brand new program starting up in September. We'll be talking about that more over the next couple months, but we haven't really officially released that yet. But if you go to my website, there's a contact tab. It will reach out to me. And Candace, I Sent you an email back, so make sure you just check your junk mail just in case it went to there, because I do my best to get back to you guys as quickly as possible. So hopefully those are all different places that you guys can reach out and find me, and I am more than happy to help you.
Amazing. Again, thank you very much, Kara. I really appreciate you for coming over. And there's one more comment here. Lynn Young said, great show tonight. Two of my favorite therapy business gurus. I guess Kara and then Lloyd. So thank you very much, Lynn.
Everybody. Thank you, Lynn. Thanks for watching.
Again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Kara, for coming over again. But before I let you go, ladies and gentlemen, always remember the word FAST. F-A-S-T, letter F. Find friends that will push you to your next level, because you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. Today, I'm hanging out with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm hanging out with Kara. Guess what? I'm going to be the next level OT2, right? So you have to find friends. You have to be specific. You have to be meaningful, specific, ladies and gentlemen. The next letter is letter A. She already mentioned it. Letter A, you got to learn how to take action. Imperfect action beats perfect in action. Take action, ladies and gentlemen. Letter S, share and subscribe. The more shares, the better. If you can share the show, that'll be awesome. If you can like and subscribe, the more shares, the better, because it may not be applicable to you, but it could be applicable to somebody else. And last but not the least, letter T. Teach it. Why? Because when you hear it, you forget. When you see it, you remember. But when you're actually teaching it, just like what Kara's doing, you actually understand it more. Again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen of iBusiness Show. In behalf of my co-host, Bert De Vera, again, thank you very much. We'll see you Thursday, same channel, same time, same channel, and we'll see you around. Thank you, and you have a good night and good morning there in the Philippines. Bye-bye.